The first confirmed U.S. case of what would come to be known as COVID-19 was recorded on January 21st. By the end of the month, U.S. President Donald Trump banned entry for most foreign nationals who had recently been in China.
We're in great shape, though. We have 11 cases, and many of them are in good shape now.
By the end of February, cases were rising, the stock market plunged, and Trump was facing criticism.
The administration has no plan to deal with the coronavirus. No plan.
On the final day of February, the U.S. recorded its first confirmed death. Tests were in short supply despite Trump's inaccurate claims.
Anybody that needs a test can have a test. They're all set.
On March 11th, Trump further limited travel.
To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe.
But the virus was already spreading in the U.S. The country moved into lockdown. Schools closed, businesses shuttered, streets deserted.
I'm afraid of what this is going to be doing to small businesses and the economy in general. And so I'm wondering how much longer we can survive this.
In early April, a new recommendation for the nation: masks.
But CDC is additionally advising the use of simple cloth coverings to slow the spread of the virus.
But in what would become a familiar pattern, Trump immediately undermined his own public health officials.
Oh, I just don't want to wear one myself. I think wearing a face mask as I greet presidents, prime ministers, dictators, kings, queens, I don't know, somehow I don't see it for myself.
Some rejected lockdowns and masks. Trump repeatedly signaled support for the protesters. As the crisis worsened and hospitals filled, Trump backed unproven therapeutics and touted dangerous, scientifically dubious treatments.
I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Trump halted funding to the World Health Organization and later withdrew the U.S. completely. By the end of April, the U.S. reached 1 million cases, but lockdowns were working to some degree and cases leveled off. Restrictions eased into the summer and cases began to rise again. The presidential campaign was underway and the political divide over COVID-19 became clear. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden cautiously wearing a mask as President Trump rejected medical advice.
I want every single American to know, if you're sick, if you're struggling, if you're worried about how you're going to get through the day, I will not abandon you.
In June, the U.S. hit 2 million COVID-19 cases. In July, 4 million. In August, 6 million. And in September, 7 million.
We had some very bad people outside.
Despite public health warnings, Trump continued to hold in-person campaign rallies and events at the White House. Then on October 2nd, President Trump announced he had tested positive for COVID-19 and was quickly hospitalized at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. He emerged as defiant as ever.
Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives.
But voters chose Joe Biden to be the next president in part because of Trump's handling of the crisis. As the year draws to a close, the pandemic has reached a new peak in the U.S., with cases and deaths repeatedly hitting record levels. Then in December, true hope arrived in the form of vaccines. Hope that 2021 will be a better, healthier year than 2020.